What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Third Eye Cyphs. Sorry, that was horrible. That probably ruined your ears, guys. I'm so sorry. It is early, not too early. It's 9:46 my time right now. It is a Friday. Happy Friday, everybody, if you are listening to this on the day it releases. If not, well, happy day, whatever day it is that you're listening to this. How are you? How are you? How are you? Are you drinking water? It's time for that list, guys. Get out your list. Are you doing the things that you are supposed to be doing to take care of yourself? Are you really? Are you drinking water? Are you eating healthy food? Are you getting exercise? Are you at least going outside? Are you doing some mental health stuff, taking a break from whatever it is that you feel obligated to do? Are you reading? Are you journaling? Are you being creative? Are you sharing? Are you loving? Are you kissing your pets? Are you kissing your loved ones, hugging them? Are you taking care of your body, your hair, your nails, your face, your skin, your insides? Always good. Yeah, are you taking care of yourself? Are you taking care of yourself, really? Don't just listen to this and be like, oh, like, ask yourself, are you actually taking care of yourself? Are you doing any of these things? Do you feel like you're not taking enough care of yourself? Should you be looking into how to take better care of yourself? Yeah, good. I'm glad. Even though I don't, physically hear an answer, but I'm glad that whoever out there is taking care of themselves, and I'm glad with whoever hasn't been taking care of themselves and decides now that they need to start taking care of themselves. I'm so proud of you. You're doing so well, and you've come so far, guys. You've come so far. What is up? I don't I feel like I'm just like, how's life? So I don't have a plan. I just realized I didn't even do a card draw. Oh my gosh, guys, come on. Look at me. Well, I guess I will do it while I'm talking to you. Ooh, you guys get a live card reading. Chottomate. For those of you who don't know, that means wait a minute or wait a moment in Japanese. If you watch anime, you probably hear that a lot. So I do have the cards. I'm gonna be talking to you while I do this, just because, like, what the heck, you're gonna sit in silence while I shuffle these cards. I kind of just jumped right on here. I didn't even think, like, oh, I have to do a card reading or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I had to work this morning, and then I kind of cleaned up the kitchen a little. So it wasn't like my immediate kind of thing to record this, so I guess that's why I kind of missed it. I also, again, say I don't have a plan. I wanted to do a narcissist episode. It'll probably be next week. But I will be talking about, well, various stuff that has been happening. To me personally, but just not, I'm not going to tell you, like, personal stories. I'm just going to, like, address things that have been, like, coming to my head, I guess you can say, or that I've been witnessing, and how we can, work through stuff and stuff like that, guys. All right, so let me get into my moment here. Now imagine I did that while I was, like, reading the cards. Okay, Uni. Hello, how are you? I'm glad you're here with us this morning, and every other morning, and every night, and every single moment, because these moments wouldn't exist without you. What do you have to tell my listeners today? What do you have to tell my listeners for the week? What is the message? What can you tell us? What do we need to know? Ooh, I like it. I literally just pulled another card for no reason. Like, I don't know why I did that. I was like, like I picked up the card and I was like, yes. And then like I grabbed another card for some reason, but then I realized I didn't want it, so then I just put it back. I'm sorry, guys, but like I don't know. It was a weird moment. Okay, I don't know why I grabbed that other card. You know, maybe it was meant for you guys. Who knows? But I don't think so. I think it was just me like doing subconscious actions. But guys, you've received the rest and rejuvenation card. Now I know you can't see it. I was. You know, I feel like the video recordings. We're actually doing really good. I probably will jump back onto YouTube with the video recordings of the podcast episodes, but probably not till later. But I do feel like they were doing pretty good. Yeah, but anyways, you can't see the card, but it's the rest and rejuvenation card. And this card basically represents, like, you know, take out the time to rest and rejuvenate. But you did get this card in reversed. So I'm going to read to you what this book says, because usually I read the book and then I summarize it and then I kind of just like, you know, freestyle it from there. But I don't think I've ever gotten the rest and rejuvenation card in reverse. So let's see what it has to say. So this card represents relaxation and meditation. Now it says, when the card is reversed, it can portend a time of bustling activity and seemingly unending business. I feel like I relate to this so much. You may be required to take more action concerning a project or situation. Allow yourself to do what's needed, but always remember to schedule some leisure time for yourself. When you hurry through life without a break, it fragments your energy and creates an abrasive life force, causing potential frustration in all sorts of ways. Be careful not to let endless tasks take you away from yourself. The have-to items on your list may be calling you, but this card reversed is telling you, take the time to meditate, rest, and relax. Oh my gosh, guys, what was it, last week that I did the self-care episode? Come on. And you know, it's so funny because I was gonna like branch off from last week's episode, but this card is beautiful. Do you hear what this says? This is basically telling you, if you want to, you know, rewind and rehear that, is that like there's probably a lot of stuff going on that you have to tend to, like busy stuff, or not even like things you have to tend to, but just stuff that like, well, yeah, that you probably have to do. And even though we are, and it's so funny because I heard my teacher say this when she started one, because since I start like the yoga classes online and stuff, she started off one of her classes and somebody was like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, I didn't get to sign up for this because I've been so busy. And she said, you know, it's so funny, during all of this we're still so busy. Like, a lot of us don't have jobs, a lot of us don't have stuff to do, everything's closed, and we're still busy somehow, which is very interesting. And I feel like it could be, you know, it could also be like us trying to busy our lives like we always have been, and we kind of feel like, you know, weird having this stagnant, you know, kind of space in our life where it's just like there's nothing really to do. So we just, you know, automatically create a busyness in our life, maybe to distract ourselves from our thoughts, from being with ourselves, from being alone. Or it could just be, you know, we're used to that fast-paced kind of mentality where we're just always constantly doing something, working on something, doing something. So, you know, it could be that, or, you know, we just are generally really busy doing our own stuff. Maybe we have this time, since we're not working, to work on ourselves, to work on the house, to work on, you know, starting up our own business. It could be anything. So yeah, it is very interesting. But you know, I feel like that's just the way humans work. But I love how it says, allow yourself to do what's needed, but always remember to schedule some leisure time for yourself. And this is exactly what I was saying last week, guys. Like, we need to create a schedule for ourselves where we have the busyness, right? We have to, like, we do what we have to do, but allow time for ourselves, for leisure time. And it says it fragments your energy and creates an abrasive life force, causing potential frustration in all sorts of ways. So this can be even, you know, blockages in life paths. You know, it says when you're in a hurry through life without a break. So if you're constantly doing something, you're not giving yourself a break, you're not giving yourself time to think, to meditate, to stay at a, you know, calm pace, and you're constantly hurrying through everything, not really being here now, it fragments your energy because you're distracted by all these other worldly stuff. And it doesn't allow your life force to flow. And now that I'm talking about this, I imagine, life force not only in our cells, because when you think life force, you always think, prana or apana, the life force energy, chi, ki, that runs through our body, right? But I'm also seeing this life force, our life force energy that runs through our life, right? So we have this energy that runs through our body, but also flows into millions of pathways that our lives can take. Our main life path has our life force energy in it. So if we cause our energy to become abrasive, we might hinder ourselves from actually going on these paths. Our life force energy isn't flowing into these different paths, allowing like abundance to enter into your life and that. So that's just kind of a visual thing that I got there. Be careful not to let endless tasks take you away from yourself. Yes. Do not let your busyness distract you from the fact that you have to take care of yourself. So yes, take time to meditate, rest, and relax. I can't stress this enough, guys. I literally love this card so much. I kind of feel like I want to, kind of do some live card readings. Now, I usually just, I sit like literally right before I press record, I sit there with my cards and I'm like, all right, what do they need to hear? Pull the card, kind of jot down everything that it says, summarize it, and then kind of just go from there. So, but that was pretty fast. I feel like, maybe I could start doing that. I feel like maybe, because, like, the reason why I didn't do it live is because I thought, I had to be all in the moment and quiet and stuff. But I really felt, just tapping in, just tapping into that energy that's always there. I felt like it was more strong, also recording, because I feel like I'm directly talking to you and it's just so much stronger. So anyways, the affirmation for this card, guys, if you would love to write it down, I would, is I make relaxation a part of my daily life. Oh, I love this. I make relaxation a part of my daily life. Peace and quiet bring me clarity and joy. Peace and quiet bring me clarity and joy. Guys, I've been feeling so good this morning. It was kind of like a weird combination this morning. It was like a combination of like happiness and sadness at the same time. Not really sadness, more longing. So, I woke up. My boyfriend's like taking an early morning trip to, he left early morning to San Francisco with his friends. And I didn't really know if he was going to go or not, because sometimes his friends say they're going to go and then they don't go. But, so I woke up early. I actually woke up before my alarm. So I have to start work at 8. And it's not fast. Like, it takes super fast to, it's very fast. I'm sorry. I need to watch my grammar when I'm talking, because sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, I would never write that. I would reread that and be like, that is so incorrect. So I woke up before my alarm, and it doesn't take long. There you go. It doesn't take long to start up, doing work. So I usually wake up at 7:55, and it doesn't take a long time for me to wake up. So as soon as the alarm goes off, I'm up. I turn it off, and my laptop's literally right next to my bed. So I just grab my laptop, jump on, and then start doing work or whatever, right? But I actually woke up at 7:20 this morning, and I really don't know why. And I felt pretty well rested, and it was just so calm. I love when that happens, when it's super early in the morning and I'm up by myself. It's super quiet outside. I'm so glad I do not live in the city anymore. Oh my god. Literally this morning, I just couldn't be more blessed to not live in the city anymore. I used to hate waking up early because I would have to walk to the yoga studio that I would go to sometimes, and I would take super early classes, like the 6 a.m. class. The earliest class that I could take that was Vinyasa Flow, I would take. So it'd either be 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. But I just hated waking up that early and then going outside of my building, and there's crazy people out already, and guys hitting on me. It's 6 in the morning. I don't need you hitting on me. I haven't even done yoga yet. I haven't ate my breakfast. I haven't even drank my smoothie. I can't, and I'm not too irritable in the morning, I'm not irritable most of the time, but if I wake up and then something annoying happens, I feel like that just makes me irritable because I'm like more sensitive in the morning because I just woke up, I guess. Um, so it was just super annoying, and I would hate living in the city when I wake up in the morning and walk to yoga. I'm like, I cannot wait to like not live here anymore. Like I loved having my own apartment, and I loved being in the middle of LA, and it just like, it's big. Like it sounds big, right? It sounds big. You have your own apartment and you're in the middle of LA like by yourself. Like that's so cool, right? But it's just what I personally long for. Like yeah, it's nice to have that, but it's not satisfying enough to me. Having my own place, that's satisfying, yes. But I can't with the city. I left New York for a reason. Like, I did not leave New York to come back into a different city across the country. Like, I really did not. I want to be in nature, I guess. I want to be in the mountains, and if I have to settle for the suburbs, I'm down. The suburbs are nice. I like the suburbs. But anyways, it was nice and quiet in the morning. I put on some super calm and quiet music, and I made like a matcha latte, cleaned up the kitchen a little, did some work. It was nice. It was just so nice. But also that sadness and the longing came in like pretty early when I first woke up. It was kind of like a nostalgic feeling when I woke up. Like I felt like I was longing to be somewhere. I don't know if it was, I feel like it was Japan, honestly. Like, I don't know what, I honestly, like, woke up and I was like, man, I really wish I was in Japan right now. Like, it's kind of weird. I've never been to Japan, so I can't be like, oh, I miss Japan. But I feel like I miss Japan, even though, I haven't been there yet. So, I have this app on my phone called Hello Talk, and it's kind of social media to connect you with people who are from the country of the language that you want to learn, right? So I study Japanese, and so it connects me with all these people who live in Japan who want to study English. So you can kind of connect with them and like talk to each other, and they'll correct your Japanese, you correct their English. But it also has like a homepage that, everybody posts like statuses. It's kind of like Facebook, but in a different language. And you could like click translate and it'll translate what it says, or you could correct it. It's really cool. If you're learning a language, I highly suggest checking out the app Hello Talk. Especially if you want to connect with people and practice speaking the language or writing it. So anyways, I woke up and I was like, oh, I really miss Japan. And I started playing, like soft, calm Japanese music, or like music from Japanese artists. And I go on Hello Talk, and it was just so comforting, seeing the statuses in the morning. I used to use it a lot. I don't use it too much anymore. I actually haven't used it in a while. And this was my first time on it in a while, and just seeing people's status, like, oh, I went to the mountains yesterday, and it's literally like it's so beautiful. They take nice pictures like of rain. It was so comforting, and they say like super calm, poetic stuff. Like it's so funny, but it was really nice. But anyways, that was kind of my morning. Guys, I have Haku here with me. She's literally just sitting here, and she's crying for some reason. She's like tearing a lot. Don't cry, Haku-chan. It's okay. Be happy. Be happy. But yeah, it made me feel good. It comforted me. And but I also like in between, like, I felt like I was missing Japan, but I also felt like it's more, I don't know if it's Japan specifically. It's kind of just like the aesthetic, like, of the nature of knowing, their spiritual roots, kind of. It kind of just gives you this comforting, well, it gives me this kind of comforting feeling. And also like the Tao Te Ching. I talk about this so much, but I was feeling very like I was like not missing it, but I don't really know. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of just like wabi-sabi or wu-wei, the Japanese aesthetics of they're kind of spiritual. So I don't know. I was very in that mood this morning, but it felt so good. But I hope you guys are having a great day. Enough about that. Ow, Haku. Oh my gosh, she's like bipolar. I don't know. It's okay. So I looked into it. Like, it's not bipolar, because like bipolar in cats is like very rare. I think she's just like, I don't know. I think she's a Cancer, and then she's also like a female. So I actually don't think she's a Cancer. I think she's a Gemini. So yeah, that was that for my morning. What did I want to talk about today? I did want to talk a little bit about narcissism, but I think I want to do a whole episode about that, on like how we can identify narcissists in our life. Maybe we're a narcissist, who knows, and how to overcome these battles. But that'll probably be next week. I am going to the East Coast next week, probably on, I think, either the Wednesday or Thursday of next week. So I'll pre-record next week's episode, but it will still release on Friday, just to give you guys a heads up. I could have just pretended like that never happened, like I could have just like posted the episode and be like, yeah, blah, blah, like how I usually do, and then like never tell you I was leaving to the East Coast. But like, what difference would that make, honestly? I was just I don't know why I just thought of that. Like, I could have done it without telling you. But yeah, I don't even know what I was gonna say. Yeah, so I was gonna do that episode, but no, I've gotten some meditation requests. I guess I'll verbally walk you through some meditation techniques. Oh, also, guys, I also wanted to mention the episode before last. I think it was that episode. I mentioned a meditation technique that I read in a book that I had a crazy experience with, if you guys remember that episode. And that book, it's so funny because I was saying, I learned this meditation technique from this book, but I don't have the book. I don't remember what it's called because my friend has it, right? And like, I let her borrow it. Literally, the next day that I recorded that episode and said that, she sends me the book back in the mail, guys. She sent it, like, I don't even know if she listens to this podcast, like, or I didn't ask for it back, but literally the next day I received the book in the mail, which I thought was crazy because it was just talking about it, but the book is called Everything Mind by Chris Grosso. And that book is great. It talks about his problems dealing with, I think it's drug addiction and alcoholism, but also finding the spiritual path and how it helped him, I don't know if maybe overcome the addiction, but help him understand his addiction, and also, I guess, help him with the addiction too. It's not like a book for addicts or anything like that, like I was an addict and I needed it. No, it's the cover's like the hard truths about spirituality or something like that. It's like drugs, rock and roll, and the hard truth about spiritual, but it was in like the new age section or something. I guess that's why I got it. But it's a fantastic book. It's called Everything Mind by Chris Grosso. Intro to Shadow Work and How to Begin. I think that was the episode. Let me click on it. Yep, it is. It's episode 4, season 2, episode 4, Intro to Shadow Work and How to Begin. That episode, I talk about this meditation technique and the crazy experience that I had like doing this technique. So that was that, but I honestly thought that was crazy. So just a few, I'm not gonna give you some like crazy meditation techniques, because I really don't know. I'm just gonna kind of give you the basics of how I meditate, I guess you can say. Also is it How to Diminish Your Ego? I think it is How to Diminish Your Ego, yeah. So the episode before the shadow work episode, season 2, episode 3, How to Diminish Your Ego Over Time. That episode, I also talk about a kind of meditation technique that I learned from, what's her name? Drungpa Chopra or something like that, or Pema Chodron. I'm sorry. What the heck what did I just say? Drungpa Chopra. I just mixed Deepak Chopra and Drungpa Chodron. Pema Chodron. Is that how you say it? Chodron. I really don't know. Chodron. And it's called When Things Fall Apart. that book, and it's kind of just like getting through hard times or like something like that. But I do mention a technique in there. I mentioned a technique in the shadow work episode, and also previous episodes before. If you see meditation in the title, I'm not too sure if I actually have any with meditation in the title. I'm looking right now. Maybe How to Overcome Ego's Hold, episode 8, season 1. I don't know. Just go through the episodes, guys. I definitely know those 2 episodes have meditation techniques in it. The rest, I probably like briefly talk about it, but I've never like addressed it enough to put it in the title. So I guess that's what we're doing today. Okay, so well, this will kind of be like the first version of this, because I'm not reading off anything. I'm just gonna kind of walk you through some basic stuff. Anyways, guys, so to begin meditation, sit comfortably. No, okay, so you can sit or lie down. I highly suggest not to lay down, because if you don't meditate, you'll probably go to sleep. If you're not like experienced enough to actually stay awake, you know what I mean? Like going to sleep, like if you're laying down, your body's relaxed and you're relaxing your mind, you're gonna automatically fall asleep. So I suggest sitting down, preferably on something comfy. To start off, I know a lot of our postures aren't great, so I don't suggest sitting on a stool or like a pillow, a meditation pillow, or anything that doesn't support your back, mainly because since we're not used to sitting up straight and we're very likely to slouch while we sit and we don't have good posture. If you do have good posture, by all means, please sit on a stool or a meditation pillow, but I don't want you to hurt your back while you're trying to do this. And also, when you do fall into a meditative state, since you are like prone to slouch, you will start to slouch when you get into that meditative state and you're not really aware of how you're holding your body. So maybe sit on a chair with a back or a couch. I used to, when I first started meditating, I used to sit on like a couch and I would kind of fall asleep, but not really. Like, I think that was meditation. Honestly, I meditated the most when I first when I first really got into spirituality, I first got into meditation, but I was also using guided meditations, guys. If you really want to get into meditating, I highly suggest guided meditations. I don't know who I used to... There was this one channel on YouTube that I used to... I think it was called The Honest Guys. I'm going to look it up just in case. The Honest Guys. Yeah, it is The Honest Guys. I used to listen to The Honest Guys guided meditation. I don't know who else, but that was definitely one of the main guided meditations that I would listen to. And I've had another crazy experience listening to a guided meditation, but yeah, I highly suggest guided meditations if you're first starting off, because it helps you, because it puts you in a meditative state faster if you're just sitting in silence and kind of battling your thoughts. If you're listening to a guided meditation, it has like a relaxing voice. It's telling you, relax your body, do this, do that, and it puts you in that kind of calming feeling and helps you meditate even faster. But if you're just starting out and you're sitting in silence, so many thoughts are going to come up to you. You're going to feel overwhelmed, and you're going to be like, oh, I'm meditating, but you're really not meditating. You're just thinking about how you're meditating. So I don't know where I was going with that, but yes, I highly suggest guided meditations first. And yes, sit on something with a back. If you do, so like if you don't want to do a guided meditation, you actually want to sit with your thoughts, right? So, you're gonna sit down, right, and just be quiet. Close your eyes. A lot of things I've seen that says, don't close your eyes fully. Just kind of rest your sight, where your eyes land, like a few feet ahead of you, and lower your eyelids. So you don't, your eyes are open, but they look closed, I guess you could say. You leave a little slit of your eyes open and your eyes are relaxing. You're not consciously doing this, where you have to like use your muscles to like keep your eyes open. Like your eyes are just resting closed, but they're not completely like shut. So I've read things like that, but I've always closed my eyes. I never done that before. So you could do either or. I just close my eyes. And you're gonna think thoughts, right? Your mind's quiet and thoughts are going to come up. Now, this is meditation 101, guys. This is what you learn. This is what you learn when you're studying Buddhism, or mostly Buddhism. I learned about this before I even started meditating. You know, my first interest into, well, not my first interest. Well, I guess you can say my individual path of spirituality started with Buddhism, being my individual path. So, well, actually, no. Well, my interest, I guess you can say. And the reason why I'm saying this is because at a young age, my mom converted to Wiccan or paganism, and she introduced me to like a bunch of stuff. Also, my aunt was into it, my grandma was into it. So they showed me, like a different realm of what I was used to, which was I grew up kind of Catholic, but not an active Catholic. They just told me I was Catholic, and this is who God is, and there's a devil, and why the devil left heaven, and just kind of, the basics. But I like barely ever went to church. I think I went to church on Sundays. I went to church on Easter, and then maybe like Christmas Eve. I don't really know. But like my dad's mom is like Catholic. Like I'm pretty sure she prays and stuff like that. I think I also used to pray before I go to sleep too, now that I remember. So I was raised like a little Catholic, but not very active. Like we didn't go to church every Sunday, but we would go sometimes. So anyways, when she converted to Wiccan or paganism, then that introduced me to a different realm of spirituality, where I was like, wait, this exists? Like there's other stuff other than this? I knew that there was Judaism, because I also went to a Hebrew elementary school. It wasn't specifically a Hebrew elementary school, but it was in a predominantly Hebrew neighborhood. So I learned a lot of like Hebrew Christmas, well, not Christmas songs, but Hanukkah songs. I was just raised around a lot of like Jewish little kids, and so I knew that existed, and I don't really remember if I knew it was I knew it was a religion, and I knew it was different from the religion that I practiced, but I didn't really like look into it or anything. So I learned about all this other stuff, and that was kind of like my introduction to, another realm of spirituality. But I practiced Wiccan and paganism. I was self-proclaimed that too, because my mom was, mostly for years. And then when I started getting older, I started researching into different philosophies and religions and just all of that. And I came to, like, after studying so much of like different things, I kind of settled on Buddhism. It just felt more true to me than anything. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is it. Like, I'm not a Buddhist now, but I really was like self-proclaimed Buddhist back in, wasn't middle school, but probably the beginning of high school for me. And so yeah, anyways, that when I first started studying Buddhism, I bought a lot of books, specifically Zen Buddhism, and which I'm in love with Zen Buddhism still. But that was, my introduction, my own individual path. And when I first started studying it, I bought so many books. I bought like Buddhism, the Complete Guide for Dummies, and like an introduction to Buddhism, and just so many intros to Buddhism. And I would take out Buddhist books from the school library. Like that was what I studied mostly in the beginning. And before I even actually started meditation, because I wanted to meditate, because I was like, wow, this is like what they do, this is how you kind of reach this nirvana, right? Meditation is like one of the number one ways. So, but before I even started meditating, you learn about meditation when you're studying Buddhism. And the number one thing that they say, sorry, I feel like I drifted off for a while, but the number one thing they say is, when you're sitting in meditation, you are observing your thoughts. You're not attaching to them. The main core principle of Buddhism is that suffering exists because of attachments. We have attachments to things, our thoughts, our material objects, our family, our partners, our pets, anything in this physical realm we become attached to. And once we lose that, once it breaks, once it dies, we suffer because we were attached to it. If we were never attached to it in the beginning, we wouldn't suffer as much or at all. So that's kind of the main principle of Buddhism. So in meditation, we bring the same principle into our meditation practice. Our thoughts arise, right? So you're sitting in meditation and, the thought arises, this is uncomfortable, right? You realize that thought, maybe situate yourself if you're uncomfortable, but let it pass. Don't dwell on it. Be like, oh, this is uncomfortable. Why is this uncomfortable? Because I'm sitting on the floor. I'm sitting on this hardwood floor. Wow, you think this hardwood floor was made by a blah, blah, blah. And then you just keep going on. And then next you know it, you're trapped in your thoughts and you're just sitting there thinking and you're not meditating. You're just thinking. So when a thought arises, so going back to the beginning, right? You're sitting down, wherever you're sitting down, you sit down calm, everything, you're quiet, right? A thought arises in your mind. Do not attach to it. Do not dive further deeply. Diving deeply. Do not follow it. Don't follow the thoughts. Don't go down the rabbit hole of that thought. Let it pass. Observe it. Be like, oh, I just thought a thought. And then let it pass and quiet your mind again. Now, people might find it so hard to quiet your mind. Like, when are you gonna get that silence? It's like the way I'm describing it makes it seem like, okay, your mind's quiet, right? Nothing happens. Like, you're not thinking anything. The inside of your mind's quiet. Like, there is no voice saying anything. Like, you're not thinking anything whatsoever. It's quiet. And then a thought arises. And then once you let it go, then it's quiet again. Like, this is probably not the reality for most of us, especially if we're in the beginning of our meditation practice and we do have a lot of thoughts. Our minds are always racing, and this is why we're entering meditation, right? We want to calm these thoughts. But it might not be so easy when you're first starting off. So, and this I learned from Headspace. I also recommend this app. It's called Headspace, and it kind of guides you through meditations as well. Using the sounds around you to put you in a meditative state. This was the first meditation that I did in Headspace, and it uses the sounds around you to meditate on. So this was, I also mentioned this, I don't know when maybe I talked about this. Gosh darn it, guys. I don't know if it was the shadow work or the ego episode. It was fairly recent. I'm pretty sure it was after episode 21 of last season. But, maybe not. Maybe not. But anyways, I do mention Headspace. I don't know what episode it is, but I kind of talk about how it helped me and what it really did. So, what it did was it says notice the sounds around you. Like, notice them, right? But don't focus on them. Like, okay, so when your eyes are closed, focus on your ears, right? What you're hearing. So you might hear, a humming behind you. You might hear the cars outside. You might hear a bird chirping. All at the same time, right? So go individually to everything you hear. Well, I don't know if this is what it says, but I'm pretty sure this is what I did to kind of identify all the noises, right? So I'm going around, my eyes are closed, and I'm like, okay, I hear that humming behind me. I hear the bird. I hear the cars passing by. And drown yourself in those sounds. Don't think about like, oh, that humming is coming from the refrigerator. Oh, I need to get the refrigerator fixed. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Or, these cars are outside. Wow, it's pretty early for all these cars to be outside. Like, don't think about any of that. Just be like, okay, there's humming. I hear the birds. I hear the cars passing. And then you just listen to it. Your eyes are closed and you're listening to the humming and you're listening to the birds and the cars. And that's all you're doing is listening. Focus on the sounds. If you want, you can kind of focus on your breathing at the same time. I feel like that's a little advanced, even though it doesn't sound a little advanced. But I feel like, keeping your mind on everything, focusing on how you're breathing and listening to things at the same time, I feel like that's advanced. But start off with the sounds, right? If you also want to focus on your breath. I first learned the breath technique, right? So I learned the whole sound thing like later, maybe last year from Headspace, right? So you can do that, and once you listen to the sounds, I'll move on to the breathing in a sec, but once you listen to the sounds, it will put you in a meditative state if you just listen to them and you don't focus on the thoughts that arise with it, right? If you're just listening to it. Now, I highly suggest downloading Headspace because it does this, right? It tells you to listen to all this stuff. And then next you know it, you're in a meditative state and he's not even saying anything anymore. It's so funny because that's usually what happens in guided meditations, right? They guide you to a certain point, to the point where you're supposed to already be in a meditative state. And then from that point, and then like 15 minutes goes by, it's complete silence. Like they don't even play music, they don't say anything. It's complete silence. And you don't even realize that it's complete silence because you are in a meditative state. You're not really aware of anything. You're like, did I fall asleep? But you didn't fall asleep because you're awake and you're aware at the same time. And then next, he's like, now you can open your eye, or like something like that. And you're like, oh shit, like 15 minutes passed by and I didn't even know. So that is one way you can do it. You can use the sounds. Again, I recommend Headspace for that. Now what I learned, the breathing technique is, I think, this is taught by the Buddhists, I think. I'm not really sure where I learned this, but since this was the first technique I learned, I'm pretty sure it was taught by the Buddhists just because that's what I studied. And it's focusing on the breath. So you're sitting there, right? You're all sitting in your chair. You're going to quiet your mind, right? You sit there, close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Now you can do breath counts. There's different types of breath counts. Now, a big thing in, yogic breathing, also in meditation breathing and Buddhist philosophy and Hinduism, you are to take belly breaths, not breaths in your chest, right? So usually we're used to bringing just the air into our lungs, but in our chest, but there's only so much air that can be held there. So if you're bringing your breath to your stomach, right, not lifting your chest, when you breathe in, you're filling up your stomach first and then filling up your chest. Then when you release, you exhale, releasing your chest first and then your stomach. So when you inhale, it's belly first, then chest. Then when you exhale, chest, then belly. Now the breath counts, you can inhale for, I don't really know too many breath. I think, I used to read them. It depends on the type of pranayama. Pranayama is breath work. There are different types of breath counts. I'm looking them up. Breath counts for meditation. Let's see, guys. Okay, breathe in quietly through the nose for 4 seconds. Hold the breath for a count of 7. Wait, what the heck is this? No, I think that's... Okay, it's 4. There's a 4, 7, 8. But I don't know. I don't like that one. I think that's a different type of pranayama. I don't think this is good for meditation, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, there's the 4, 7, 8 technique. Count to 10 meditation technique. I'm seeing a lot of 4, 7, 8s, but what it says is that you exhale forcefully through the mouth, pursing the lips like oh, okay, I see. And then you exhale for 8 seconds. Yeah, I wouldn't do that during meditation, honestly. But you can look up like meditative breath counts. I would let me see. I'm gonna try to do one now. Do one with me, guys. And let me see what I feel would be a good one. So I feel like the holding the breath may be a little, not exaggerated or dramatic, but like if you're just starting off meditation, I wouldn't do it. If you are kind of used to meditating or doing breath work, then you can definitely try different breathing techniques. But for this, when I first started meditating, I did not hold my breath. So I just inhale, I honestly just used my nose. Don't use your mouth, guys. Do not breathe through your mouth. Like, I know in Tai Chi, it's so interesting because in Tai Chi, which is, Chinese philosophy, and it's completely a different, they have different techniques, you breathe, I think you breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth, or maybe you breathe in and out through your mouth. I don't know, but they definitely use mouth breathing. And in yoga techniques, breathing techniques, you do not use your mouth, unless it could be like a different type of, like, it depends on the breath work, honestly. But when you're doing Tai Chi, you are doing mouth breathing. I know some of the breath work I did in the workshop that I told you about, that I think we did some mouth breathing too. It depends on the breath work you're doing, guys, but when you're meditating, use your nose. I just say inhale, maybe just inhale for as long as you can, and then exhale as long as you can, but in a relaxing way. So don't like forcefully see how much air you can fit into your body, into your lungs and your stomach, and then like at that point, you can't hold it anymore, and you're just like like you breathe it out crazy because you've been holding in so much breath, right? Do it, breathe in and exhale to the extent that feels comfortable for you, that doesn't feel like you're out of breath or like you're breathing in too much air or not enough air. Just breathe in a calming breath that you can do, inhale and exhale, without being all dramatic or whatever. So yeah, I would so do that, right? Breathing, focusing on the breath, right? So you're focusing on the breath. So as you're inhaling and exhaling, just focus on your breath. You can focus on the feeling of it. You can focus on the sound of it. You can even focus on it, like the word inhale, exhale. You could be like, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, but like not out loud, just in your head. Every time you breathe in, you're like, inhale, exhale, inhale. And if you just focus on that, you'll eventually find the words starting to fade, and the only thing that's left is your breath and your meditative state, really. So that was kind of the first technique I used to try to meditate by myself and use that technique. I don't think it ever worked until I started meditating with guided meditations first, and then started meditating on my own. Because once you get used to, the feeling of meditation, if you've never meditated before, you're not really going to know what to expect from meditation doing it your first time. So if you've never meditated before, or you've never actually meditated before, like you've tried and it never actually worked out, I highly suggest Headspace or listening to guided meditations on YouTube. They will walk you through it to the point where you will actually meditate. Maybe you won't find the right person or the right video or the right sound to do it the first time, but trust me, guys, like if you do one of these, like you will successfully meditate. And once you do, you know how it feels. You know what to expect. You know how you know what to expect. You know how it feels. So to do it by yourself without the guided meditation, you already kind of know the feeling that you should be in, how to kind of get there, So I feel like if you're just starting off, please use guided meditations. It will definitely help you out, guys. There's the breathing technique. And then even with that breathing technique, so I did mention that when I talked about what I learned from the Pema Chodron book. And she says, when she learned meditation from her teacher, Trungpa, he said, I think it is a guy. Let me double check that, because then I feel like, Trungpa Rinpoche. What the heck? What is he? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, he's Tibetan, of course. I was like, what the heck? I thought he was, I don't know what I thought he was for a second. But, yeah, he's a Tibetan Buddhist meditation master. Ooh, he's a master. He was born in 1939, wow, and died in 1987. But anyways, that was her teacher, and that's who she learned from. When she did this workshop with him, and he told her, this is what he taught in the workshop, is to label the thoughts. Once a thought arises, so okay, you're sitting in meditation, right? And you're gonna quiet your mind. Then a thought arises. Once a thought arises, like, oh, I'm hungry, right? Label it thinking, right? So once a thought comes, you're like, oh, thinking, and then let it go. Another thought arises, thinking, let it go. Once you make that, like once you make a word, it doesn't have to be thinking, it could be anything, honestly. You already know that that thought's not supposed to be there. Like, yes, not that it's not supposed to be there, but you know, the whole point of meditation is to let it go, to not attach to your thoughts. So once a thought arises, you label it. Once you hear that label, once you know you label it, then you can release it. It's kind of like, it's like you're not really tricking yourself, but you're conditioning yourself to automatically let it go. So a thought arises, thinking, let it go. You're sitting, another thought arises, thinking. And you can do this. You don't even have to meditate successfully the first time. You can just do this to practice the first time, to kind of see how your thoughts will arise and how much of it arises. And she even said, you know, the first few times it was like you don't realize how many thoughts arise in your head until you do this. So again, like, it might not be successful the first time, but that's completely okay. But eventually it will, like, the more you label and the more you get used to releasing your thoughts, the more they won't arise. They won't arise as much as usual. So that is another technique. What else? Breathing, sounds. I don't know. I think that's all I know, maybe. Or that I can think of right now. If I think of anything, I'll mention it to you guys again in another episode. But those are like my main techniques that I use to meditate, guys. I'm not reading from anything. These are just like personal stuff, I guess you can say. But yeah, I hope you guys get into meditation, right? Try it and tell me how it goes. Tell me how your first meditation experience is. Maybe it's super powerful. Maybe you didn't successfully do it. That's okay. I want to hear it anyways. Please tell me. But yeah, other than that, also yoga is a great way. Practicing asanas is a great way to fall into a meditative state. I've been on my yoga game, guys. I started doing my yoga practice, my daily practice again, and I'm so glad I did. So yeah, if you aren't into the sitting and you're kind of like a more energetic kind of person, of course, sitting meditation is an absolute. But if you want to start off, I definitely highly suggest yoga. It's kind of like physical meditation, right? You're moving your body, but still in the meditative state. But that's pretty much it, guys. I know in the beginning of the episode I was like, I'm gonna talk about stuff I've been experiencing, and like, honestly, I think it was probably the narcissist thing, but I'll probably do for next week's episode. I touched on meditation as requested from a few of you. And what else? Well, that's pretty much it for today. To help you guys out, I recently just received a new video camera, so I will be trying to focus a lot on video production at the moment. Not a lot of energy into video production, but I do want to start working a lot on it, just because like I love my new camera. I just learned this new video editing program, so I'm getting real into it right now. I've just been really inspired lately, guys. I've just been really wanting to create. So yeah, I'm gonna be making some cool videos, hopefully. I do want to I've been in the mood to do a mixed media project, so I might be dropping some art soon. What else? I bought a ukulele, guys. I might do some covers. What? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, please remember to take a break, to rest and rejuvenate. Maybe that can be practicing your meditation. Again, I highly suggest using guided meditations to start off. But if you want to battle your thoughts, by all means, please do. Well, meditation is battling your thoughts, honestly, but just meditating by yourself without a guided, meditation kind of thing is, it's kind of hard, guys. I feel like that's pretty advanced stuff here. So yeah, anyways, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so grateful that people listen to this at all. But if not, maybe I'd still do it for myself. I probably wouldn't feel as obligated, honestly. It is hard to keep up with this every week. It's not too hard where I'm like, oh, it's impossible, because, I do get an episode to you every week. But it's work. So, I'm glad that I'm not video recording anymore. I'm looking at the stats and, it seems great for the videos, but also, like, I'm just so glad I don't have to video record this episode, because it takes so much work to set up to video record the podcast and to get it onto YouTube, and it's just like, it's a burden off my shoulder, honestly. Like, just waking up, setting up my laptop, plugging in the mic, and just talking is the best feeling ever. Like, I don't have to worry about anybody looking at me, even though I love, like, showing you my hand gestures for a little bit. Again, I will be back on YouTube soon, guys. Maybe not too soon, but I loved it. It was nice. I can't wait to get back on, or have the ability to get back on. But yeah, I am going to be trying to work on new things. I am still kind of constructing this schedule for myself. I think you guys should too. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to the East Coast, guys. I'm going to see my family. I'm taking my boyfriend with me. He's going to meet my family for the first time. I'm so excited. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe, wearing masks, washing your hands, not kissing up on strangers, drinking water, stuff like that. Well, yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you again so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Continue to send me music, please. I love you guys so much. Thank you. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Natalia of Earth, Natalia of Earth, this planet Earth. My blog is thewritingsofnatalia.wordpress.com. My Wattpad is The Writings of Natalia. And my podcast, well, you're listening to it, it's ThirdEyeCyphs. Oh, also announcing, it is now available on Overcast. If you guys have Overcast, this podcast is available on Overcast now. And yeah, what else? I don't have anything else to advertise. Yeah, stay tuned, guys. I will hopefully be dropping some cool art soon, some cool videos. Oh, my YouTube is World of Natalia. And yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. I love you. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week. Peace.